in their tallies that the total number of votes cast is 429, of which the Honorable Mike Johnson of the state of Louisiana has received 220 votes. Therefore, the Honorable Mike Johnson of the state of Louisiana, having received a majority of the votes cast, is duly elected Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 118th Congress.
In the American political arena, Mike Johnson's ascent to the coveted position of the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives looks a lot like a dramatic journey through turbulent tussle among Republicans. Emerging as a relatively unknown figure, Johnson being chosen as a new Republican House Speaker is like a quiet ripple on the surface of the unpredictable forthcoming 2024 US elections.
In this time of great crisis, it is our duty to work together, as previous generations of great leaders have, to face these great challenges and solve these great problems. I will conclude with this. The job of the Speaker of the House is to serve the whole body, and I will. But I've made a commitment to my colleagues here that this Speaker's office is going to be known for decentralizing the power here.
In the weeks following the 2020 presidential election, an unassuming Republican lawyer from Louisiana emerged as a key figure in efforts to challenge the election results. Mike Johnson, a name not widely known at the time, spearheaded a congressional campaign to overturn the electoral outcome in several US states that voted for Joe Biden over Donald Trump. Johnson's argument centered on what he considered irregularities in the 2020 election results. Fast forward to 2023, Mike Johnson has been elected as Speaker of the House of Representatives. This position carries substantial influence in American politics. His election was celebrated by the Trump-led MAGA movement, but it has also ignited fresh scrutiny regarding his involvement in efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Many wonder how he might use his newfound power to influence the outcome of the next presidential election, particularly if Trump is once again the top Republican nominee in 2024.
What we need in this country is more hope. The people have lost their faith in our institutions. Their faith is at an all-time low. And one of the reasons they've lost it is because the Congress, over the years, has not delivered for the American people well enough. We're in the majority right now. We've gone through a little bit of suffering. We've gone through a little bit of character building. And you know what it's produced? More strength, more perseverance, and a lot of hope. And that's what we're about to deliver to the American people.
Trump explicitly called on Johnson to rally Republican support for the legal challenge involving the 2020 result. In an email, Johnson urged fellow Republican members of both the House and the Senate to join a legal brief challenging the election results, citing unconstitutional irregularities in the 2020 presidential election that raised doubts about its integrity and legitimacy. So, of course, Johnson being elected House Speaker is now music to Trump's ears.
Thank you very much, and I just want to congratulate Mike Johnson. He will be a great Speaker of the House, and we were very happy to help. I've known him for a long time. He's a tremendous leader and a tremendous man. Comes from a wonderful place, Louisiana. He's going to make us all proud. So at this time yesterday, nobody was thinking of Mike. And then we put out the word, and now he's the Speaker of the House.
During the January 6, 2021 US Capitol chaos, Johnson's role came under scrutiny. In the aftermath of the attack, he inquired about invoking the 25th Amendment to remove Trump from office, as disclosed by a White House aide's testimony to the January 6 committee. Despite his involvement, he was not subpoenaed by the committee.
America is the last best hope of man on the earth. Abraham Lincoln said it, Ronald Reagan used to remind us all the time, and we're here to remind you of that again. We're going to restore your trust in what we do here. You're going to see a new form of government, and we are going to move this quickly. This group here is ready to govern, and we're going to govern well. We're going to do what's right by the people. And I believe the people are going to reward that next year, but we have a lot of big priorities ahead of us right now.
Johnson's election as Speaker of the House raises concerns about his ability to lead impartially, given his history of challenging election outcomes and alignment with Trumpian ideals. His relationship with President Joe Biden has been strained, to say the very least. He was one of the House Republicans who voted against certifying Joe Biden's electoral victory in 2020. So, is there a possibility of history repeating itself when Trump and Biden have a rematch in 2024?
Are you worried that a Speaker Johnson would again attempt to overturn the election?
No. Because again, look, just like I was not worried that the last guy would be able to overturn the election. They had about 60 lawsuits and all the way to the Supreme Court, and every time they lost. I understand the Constitution.
Mike Johnson's political ideologies align with the conservative wing of the Republican Party. He is a staunch pro-life advocate and has consistently supported anti-abortion legislations. He also holds strong conservative positions on LGBTQ rights. Johnson has been vocal about his opposition to the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, and has worked to undermine the law during his time in Congress. His leadership as Speaker may lead to further political divisions within the House.